to call our staff senator names. If you are here, if you could please say present in the chat, and we will be able to establish quorum. Alicia Puentes, Ashley Mercado, Claudia Dole, Cordelia Raza, Cristina de Leon, David Guerra, Irene Cárdenas, Javier Salinas, Jasmine Zuniga, Juan Santos Flores, Karen Dorado, Karina Herrera, Kelly Quinn, Marisa Campirano, Maribel Mata, Melanie Garza, Melba Cantu, Mónica Granado, Nicole English, Orlando Castañeda, Ricardo López, Rolando Segovia, Tammy Muñoz, Veronica Abrelian, and Yadira Mejia. Madam President, quorum has been established.
All right. Thank you, Madam Secretary. Moving up next, welcome once again. This is our first staff Senate meeting for the 2023 year. Obviously, January is the month to recover and understand where our year is going to start off with. So that is an opportunity for us to see like, okay, this is how we should roll with the year, at least for right now. To begin, welcome once again, everyone. And we're going to start off really quick with our approval of meeting minutes for December 2023. Is there a motion on the floor for the approval of these minutes? Is there a motion
to approve the minutes?
Is there a second?
I second.
All right, that was from David
And
Yes.
Veronica.
Yeah. All right, all those in favor, please say aye in the Zoom chat. All opposed? Any abstentions? Meeting minutes for December 2022 have been approved. All right. All right, moving up next to our agenda, we have our first guest speaker. We have Mr. David Hovard and Ms. Norma Rodriguez from the University of Marketing and Communication.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Norma.
Hi, good morning.
Hi, yes, I'm Norma Rodriguez, the Public Relations Coordinator. And David Hovard, he's Internal Communications Manager, and we're just going to do a quick presentation on our UTRGV Messenger, and he will do also a little demo after this brief. Well, our UTRGV Messenger, it was created back in 2017, and since then we've needed a much updated version of this communication. So the decision was based on some surveys that were conducted back in October of 2001, which revealed that our employees were seeking a higher quality, more engaging, and less repetitive content. The decision to revamp the platform was also based on the need to reduce the volume of emails being sent through university listservs. That was really one of the main concerns. And our goal at UMC was to improve and enhance the UTRGV Messenger website and email component as a whole. So we did this by creating 2 new categories to better serve our growing audience and reduce the need for departments and divisions to send irrelevant university-wide emails. We've added the health and safety category, which it gives you an update on campus health safety initiatives and medical news events. And this safety and health category also provides a place for important news and updates from UTRGV School of Medicine and other campaigns, other champions from campus safety and wellness. The other category that we added was newsletters. Here, divisions, college, or department newsletters can be made available to a wider audience. The newsletter category was created. It has created a new outlet that is now dedicated to hosting newsletters, eliminating the need to distribute via email. So they can just add the link and then the audience can can see the full version of their email. And we've also updated events, which is formerly happenings. In this category, information about university-related events, for example, could be concert, plays, athletics, any performance or exhibitions. That's where these events could be placed. We also have Around Campus, which is now it's called Around Campus, and it was formerly called Heads Up. And here's where you will learn about opportunities to participate in research, surveys, contents, or any volunteering event. And the existing policies and procedures is where we have new or updated policies, processes, and procedures affecting the UTRGV community. And lastly, we've got training and workshop category, which you can find information about upcoming trainings, workshops, conferences, or speaker sessions. And this launch, the revamp, we launched it a month ago. We launched it in January. And we've also improved the layout and styling by updating colors, graphics, and logos. We added the ability for users to upload thumbnails, photos to bulletins, improving the viewing experience, and provided a character limit to the subject lines and the summaries. We also created a rule requiring bulletins to have a unique subject each day, preventing just duplicate subject lines to be posted on consecutive days. And this also was done to encourage more thoughtful, well-planned, and engaging content. And we also created a rule that all bulletins must be submitted at least 2 days before becoming eligible for publishing. And this is also for advanced planning. And Mr. David Howard, he will do a little demo.
Hey,
And-
thanks, Norma. I was
Hey.
trying to get screen
Yeah.
sharing going, but it seems to be disabled still.
Let me go ahead and get, there you go. Try it, David. Should be working now.
Yes, it works now. All right. Thank you.
Yes,
So, all right, can everybody see that?
yes.
All right, cool. So, as Norma was saying, yeah, it's similar, but it's different, right? At the same time, Messenger, I think we can all agree that the old Messenger had a lot of elements from the legacy institutions and wasn't really reflecting our new unique UTRGV brand. And I think that the new layout and banner and color scheme really does a much better job of showing what UTRGV is today, and that's what we were really going for. The thumbnails, those are another dynamic element to the content, and like every technical thing, we've been finding some bugs throughout the rollout process. So if you've been experiencing some of those issues, we appreciate those who have pointed them out to us, and because this is an iterating process, and we are kind of in the beginning stages of phase 2 of this project and refining it further. So please be patient with us as we work these out. But I think overall we've been hearing a lot of good feedback, and we appreciate everybody that helped us get here. So if you are someone who posts on Messenger, or if you're someone who doesn't, I just want to show you how easy it is to get on here. So first you go to messenger.utrgv.edu. You'll land on this page, and to view the content, it's all right here. In the middle section, you'll see the newest posts. This is the student relevant content, and here we have the faculty staff content. So the newest posts will appear here. The thumbnails, they actually refresh. So if there's a lot of content, like this section has trainings and workshops has lots of content, if you refresh it, you'll see a different display of thumbnails. So, if you ask yourself, why do I need to put a thumbnail? It's not showing up on the email or on the website. These randomly generate. So every time somebody goes to the page, they'll be seeing new thumbnails, hopefully generated on there. So that's why we ask everybody to put a thumbnail, because you never know when yours will appear at the top, and we want everybody to have a nice looking bulletin there. So all active bulletins, those are bulletins that are still active. If you set a start range, say today, but you want it to run through this Friday, yours will appear in this middle section here, and it'll appear on the email, but it will not appear in the email or on the middle section through the rest of the week. It'll appear on this sidebar here. So people can still find it. It just won't be designated as a new bulletin, right? It's still active though. So those are good if you want to set one and then forget it, or if you are somebody that wants your bulletin to appear every day on that featured section. Like Norma said, you need to have a fresh subject line for that, and you'll have to set the start date as the same day. So for today, it would be February 16th starting and February 16th ending. So we'll get into that here. I'm gonna log in and show you all how now to do that. So super easy. Just put in your UTRGV credentials and you land on this page to create a bulletin. Since I'm an admin, I have an admin tab, but ignore that. You don't have to worry about that. Titles, those we now have a character limit of 80 characters, and because we were seeing a lot of not a lot, but some people were putting their entire bulletin text in the subject line, and that's just not best practice typically. And then for summary, a character limit of 100, and so that's where you can expand on what your content is about and give a little bit more context before you really get into it in the main body here. For the sake of these, I'm gonna say, staff Senate meeting today, right? And join us for a great discussion on all things UTRGV. So now when we get into the content here, images, if you want to add an image to your post, you can do that by clicking here, Launch File Manager. It's not like Word where you can just copy paste something in here. You actually have to go through this file manager. But it's not too difficult. And here, there's some public images that people have posted. There's also a personal folder where only you will have access to the files that you upload there. But for the sake of this, I'm gonna just put one of these public ones, and you just double click the one that you want, and it shows up here. You can resize it. It's scalable, and you can center it like that, just like you would in a Word document. I know the image isn't relevant to our title or summary, but this is a demo, remember? And then now with the thumbnail, this is the next section. Same process as adding an image there. You would click that, and then instead of choosing one of these, we have a special folder that's thumbnails here in this section. And you would just double click that, and you can choose some of the generic ones we've provided here that are UTRGV themed, or you can add your own by clicking here. And so remember though, if you've seen the guidelines, the images must be sized 200 by 165 pixels, and those are the limits that our IT partners have imposed on these for formatting purposes. We're looking at ways to potentially improve the image quality, and so that might change the the size restrictions. So like I said, though, this is an evolving process, and if those things change, you'll be sure to see those updates communicated on Messenger, but also within the guidelines that are live on the IT website. And I'll share the link to that knowledge base article on the IT site here in the chat. So same process there. Select a thumbnail. Let's choose this one. It'll show up here. And then the next thing is to select the category. I'm going to choose one of these new ones just for the sake of it. But then Norma, you touched on the new categories, newsletters and safety and health. And those were done purposefully to really give a place for a lot of our UT Health content that we have, or any other safety related content that we've been seeing a lot of that over the last few years, especially, and that's important. It needs a place. And then for newsletters, that's something that we wanted to build a place for those department division newsletters that traditionally have been sent to listservs, but that might not be the best method for those, as not everybody is part of that target audience. And so if you really want to share your newsletter, we would suggest putting it here and letting people find it themselves. And it just comes with time and just getting people used to finding this section here. But it won't appear unless people put their newsletter in there. So we've been trying to, and I've noticed some people have added newsletters, and it looks really nice when they do. We've added some reminders about, hey, we have a newsletter category. But to cut down on those mass emails, to make sure that those newsletters are reaching the relevant audience, we really suggest putting them in the newsletter category. And then the approver group, there's quite a few of them, to be honest, maybe too many, but these are the departments, the divisions that oversee all the content, and there's a list of designated approvers, which I'll also reference. So if you're unsure who the designated approver is for your division or department, you can find them, but you need to select that here so it can go to the relevant person. For us, we're UMC, so I put that one. And then, like I was mentioning earlier, to have the start and end date for your bulletin, we have a 2-day gap now, and that's to not only ensure that bulletins are well constructed, well planned, but it also gives time to approvers to review them adequately, and then it also gives your audience time. Say you have an event, we were seeing lots of events that were taking place tomorrow, and people were wanting to put messenger bulletins promoting their event the same day, and so that's not a really effective way to reach your audience and to make sure that people know about it. And so we were hoping that having this rule would cause people to plan a little bit further ahead to get their bulletins on there, and then that way people can see the information in a timely manner, so they can plan accordingly to hopefully go to that event. So for here, we would do, today's the 16th. I need to select the category. So, and this is another nuance, but if it is a policies and procedures post, you can actually post the following day, right? So that's today's the 16th, you can actually post it for tomorrow. And we did that purposefully because sometimes there are timely updates that need to be communicated to the entire university community. If there's a policy change or a road closure or something that affects lots of people, we want them to see that right away and not have to wait those 2 days. So we do make exceptions for this category. Now, if you do select that category, you will have to acknowledge here that it is important and timely. Just kind of makes you check yourself before you really decide that this is where you want to put it. Because, say someone someone can abuse this potentially, but I haven't seen any abuse of it yet. So everybody kind of has been respecting that rule, and we appreciate that. But we do that just to ensure that only important, highly relevant content goes in that position. And then you can, like I was saying, if you wanted this post to appear for several days, for a several day series in the email and also featured on the main section, I would choose the same date as the start date. So it would appear for one day. And then, if I wanted to post it again the next day, then I would have to do another post and then select, the 18th as the start and the end date, and so on and so on. So that's really it. And then you choose your audience. This is important for everybody, so I choose all. And then you can see a preview. This is how it looks. And then you can submit. Simple as that. So any questions about Messenger, any of the new features that I mentioned here? I know it can seem like a lot, and there is a lot that changed. We are also working on incorporating analytics function to Messenger to support approvers so that they can have some deeper understanding of how the submitters in their division or approver group are using Messenger, what the highest performing bulletins are, where people are coming from, whether it's from the email, whether it's from the website, just to get a better view of how people are using this. And once that's ready, we're going to be inviting all approvers to a training session, kind of like this, a live session, which will be recorded, and then we'll live on the IT knowledge base. So before I forget, I want to show that where you can find that information. So when you log in, there's a help tab right here. And this is where you can see, this has a link to the IT knowledge base. But it also has, this page contains the list of all the approvers. So if you don't know who your approver is in your approval group, you can find their name and contact here. And this is the knowledge base I was referencing. Has a video kind of demoing what I showed you here with a little bit more in depth. And then on the side here, we have FAQs, and we also have the updated guidelines that go into even further detail about everything. So I will stop there.
All right, thank you, Mr. David and Ms. Norma. I know for our communications committee, we usually use that platform in terms of helping our communications. So Melanie and Rolando, thank you for using that feature. And so if y'all have any questions, please feel free to address it to Mr. David and Ms. Norma. And other than that, thank y'all so much for joining us. All right.
No, thank you. Appreciate it.
Yes.
You have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. You too. All right. Our next guest speaker, we welcome Dr. Michael Lecker. He is our guest speaker for our UTRGV Dean Series. Dr. Lecker serves as the Dean for the College of Health Professions, and we'll be sharing information on that college that leads excellence in health and human service. Dr. Lecker.
Good morning, and thank you. And I hope everyone had a great morning already. If you don't or didn't, I will share a secret with you today of how to have the greatest morning every morning. And if you share that secret on TikTok, I'll be a TikTok star. So, as a matter of fact, the greatest morning of all mornings always starts the night before. It starts with a good night's sleep. And you might ask, how long should I sleep? Well, that depends on what your body tells you. For some people, it's 8 hours. For some people, it's 7, 6, whatever your body tells you it needs to recover from all the damage you have done to your own body the day before. Because in the night, when you have restorative sleep, that's when your body regenerates. And that's why you need to have your sleep. So it also Also depends from day to day, it might be different. Then it starts with a great breakfast, because now you need to replenish your nutrients that you used up to repair your body. Now, don't do it like I used to do for decades. I was always late, always in a hurry. I grabbed my breakfast, eat it quickly, probably still in the car, was still eating, right? Don't do that. Sit down for a wonderful breakfast. And if you can tell me right now how your breakfast tasted, what the texture of your breakfast was, how your breakfast smelled, then you did it right. You enjoyed your breakfast and it makes you feel really good. Next, have a moment of thankfulness and gratefulness. Tell your husband, wife, your kids, your pets, whoever is around, tell them thank you. Tell them you love them. And then before you run off to work, have 1 minute to quiet yourself. Just 1 minute, it doesn't take a lot. Just quiet yourself, either through meditation, prayer, whatever it is that you do to quiet yourself. And then you're ready. You had a great morning, great start. The rest of the day will be just wonderful. Sprinkle the day with kindness throughout. And you'll be just happy for the rest of the day. So that's the secret. So thank you so very much for inviting me. And I'm so happy and I'm really excited to share some great things about the College of Health Professions. And let me see if I can share my screen.
I believe you should have access. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, hope it's shared now, right?
Yes.
Okay, great. So we're the College of Health Professions. And I have been the founding dean of the college since 2015. So I've been on the job for almost 8 years now. And I really enjoy my job. And many of my friends and colleagues in other schools, you know, they were deans and they now moved on to be provosts and then moved on to be presidents. And they asked me, so when are you going to make the jump? And I just look at them and said, why do I want to? I have a wonderful team in the dean's office that does great work. Is just fantastic. My departmental admins, I mean, truly, and I don't want to offend anyone, but they're truly exceptional. I mean, they take water and make wine, right? That's how great they are. And so I really want to thank them all. I mean, all my staff is just exceptional. So thank you. I have wonderful faculty. They are bright, intelligent, innovative, hardworking. I have the best students. Those students enter healthcare professions. They help the community. They make good money in their jobs. They have satisfying jobs. They help their families. They help the communities. And then on top of all of that, where else do you want to be in the world except in the Rio Grande Valley? I mean, it's a fantastic place. So if I could, I'd stay here forever. So that's how great the College of Health Professions is. But who are we? Well, that's an interesting question. It's a difficult question of who we are. And usually we are defined by who we are not. And there's this term, we are not Motwappens. So what are Motwappens? Well, that stands for we are not medicine. We're not osteopathic medicine. We're not dentistry. We're not veterinarians. We're not optometrists. We're not podiatrists. We're not pharmacists, and we're not nursing. Everything else we are. So excluding all of those professions that are in healthcare, we are all the rest. All right. And what we really do, we address health in a holistic way. And I don't know if you know that, but 80% of your health is not determined by having access to a physician, having access to a hospital. It's really 80% of your health is determined by what we call the social determinants of health, which really means where do you live, where do you work, what kind of education did you have, how much money you make. All of those are factors that impact your health. And health professions address all of that. So we not treat the disease, we heal the body, the mind, the soul, the spirit. That's what health professionals do. So we are a real family of health professionals. And just to give you an idea of who we are, 1 out of 10 jobs in the United States is now healthcare. It's a big economic engine, healthcare. It takes a lot of money to run healthcare. Now, of course, you usually come into contact with whom? Your doctor, right? Probably your nurse, you know those. But you know that those are only 10% of the healthcare workforce. 30% are nurses, 10% are dentists, pharmacists, and physicians. 60% of all healthcare workers are health professions. So who are they? Here's some of the examples. And I'm not going to read through this whole list. You can just take a quick look at it. But these are all health professions. Here's some more. Here's some more. Right? A tremendous number of jobs. And that's why it's so difficult to define who we really are. Right? We are in lots of different jobs, and they're all great paying jobs usually. So let's take a look at some of our programs that we have. And student success is really what we're all into, right? And I think we are very successful with our students. Here we take, for example, occupational therapy, right? 92% of our students complete the program. I mean, 92% over 4 years. That's really a big number, right? 80% pass the licensing exam, and all of them are employed within 6 months. Same picture for rehabilitation services. Same picture for communication science disorders. What's the average job payment? $65,000 for a graduate. So who are we? Okay, we're in Edinburgh, we're in Brownsville, we're in Harlingen. We have 6 different departments and 1 school. We have doctoral degrees, a PhD in rehabilitation services and counseling. We have 2 professional doctoral degrees, 1 in occupational therapy, physical therapy, and we're planning on a 3rd in audiology. We have 7 different master's programs, and we have 12 different bachelor's degree programs. We're serving almost 6,000 students at the university. We're graduating 1,000 students every year. 1,000 new students going into high-paying jobs in the community, supporting their families, supporting their communities for healthcare. That's the impact that we have. 1,000 new healthcare professionals every year. So these are our programs and departments that we have. And so, but what does it all mean? So imagine that you go to your kid's school and you find out there's another kid in the school who has been labeled developmentally challenged, is behind in his learning or her learning. Other kids might tease them because they're dumb. Just imagine that kid and how that kid feels. And then one of our students comes in from our communication science disorders programs and does a couple of tests. And it turns out that child could not hear. How could you have learned if you can't hear? And it wasn't diagnosed. Right? That's a work that our communication science and disorders people do. If they're really deaf, they need to learn sign language so that they can communicate with the world. We have a sign language program that teaches people to learn sign language. If you're like me, I started out very handsome. I weighed about 170 pounds, was athletic, and then everything went. I went from 170 pounds to 250 pounds. I tried diets. I stopped smoking, all kinds of things. Nothing worked. I tried exercise. I hated exercise. But I tried. I injured myself all the time. Diets never worked for me. Lost a few pounds, gained them right back. So, where do you go? Who can help you? Well, we have our Department of Health and Human Performance, Exercise Science and Kinesiology. Now, those are not just coaches and PE teachers. They can also prepare for you an exercise prescription. They can look at you, take your body measurements. They put you in an iPod, some kind of pod to measure how much muscle you have, how much water you have, how much fat you have. They put you on iDEXA to scan your bones, right? And then they look at what kind of exercise is actually appropriate for you, teach you the exercise, how to do it. So exercise prescription. Well, of course, that goes together with nutrition as well. We have our nutritionists and dietitians that help you to really prepare healthy meals without dieting, because we're all about nutrition, not dieting. Nutrition is the important part. Let's say you were unfortunately in a very difficult car accident and you really injured yourself terribly. And suddenly you find yourself in a situation where you have to relearn some things. Maybe you have to relearn how to drive. Maybe you have to relearn of how to cook, how to take care of yourself. That's where our occupational therapists come in. They help you to regain all the functions that are necessary for living, for day-to-day living, for work. And they will get you back on your feet. When you get sick and you go to the doctor's office, and from my own experience, many doctors are really not that great. I mean, they know their job, no doubt about it. But they don't know how to treat a patient. I mean, I had some really terrible experiences. I remember one, I had a skin condition, had to see a dermatologist, went in, and he found out that I'm working for UTRGV. And the only thing he wanted to talk to me about was brain transplants. And I go, but I'm here for this, right? Didn't care. Yes, he gave me the right medication. Everything was fine. But I go, you know why? Well, many times you will not actually see the physician anymore, and hopefully you will see one of our PAs, the physician assistant. They are trained to treat you the way you want to be treated as a patient. They will do that for you. You might have a family member that maybe has some problems with substance abuse, alcohol, drugs, right? We have our addiction counselors that can help. Maybe you have someone in your family who is disabled and is looking for a job. but doesn't have the skills yet. That's where our rehabilitation service counselors come in. They can help with that and get someone ready who is just able to have a wonderful job experience. You might break a bone while you're exercising. You will probably see an orthopedist who will set your bone, will fix you up. But guess who's the one who actually will make it functional for you so that it works the way it's supposed to work? That's your physical therapist. And we will have a physical therapy program in about 2 years. We just hired our first share from, and he's putting that program together. And so we will have physical therapy. As I said, we're all about teamwork. We all work together. And we're a family because of that. We are all trained to really work in teams. And we hope that we bring in our physicians, our dentists, our optometrists to be really those team players as well, to really provide exceptional health care to our community. But we also do research. So you might wonder, how do physicians or how do the PAs know what medication to prescribe? Who makes the vaccines? Who makes drugs for treatment? How do we know how body works? Now that's done through research. And we have a wonderful group, the Biomedical Sciences Programs, who trains people to do this kind of research. And they provide the scientific foundation for all of healthcare. And here's just some of the money that we're bringing in through our research endeavors. Now, the other part is that we dream big. I don't know if you have been at Health Sciences Building West and East. They're old buildings. They're functional. But this is our dream right here. This is what we want our building to look like, with all our health professions to be in there. So thank you so very much for listening. And if you have any questions, I'm open to anything. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Lecker. What a great way to start your presentation. I know, as you know, in our daily lives and we work as employees, we forget about those little things. And to be reminded about those little things, it's like, let's take a pause and let's have a good breakfast. Let's have a good sleep. And we forget those minor things, but we really appreciate you for sharing that information with us. And of course, does anyone have any questions or anything? As you can see here, Dr. Lecker, we have quite plenty of comments. Great job in your presentation. And we look forward to hearing more from your college.
All right.
You have a great day.
You too. Thank you, everyone.
Oh, Yadira, did you want to ask? There's some. John had a question.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, go for it. Yeah. Sorry, John. Dr. Lecker, so we have a question. Are we ever going to have healthcare for all in the US, in your opinion, and what will it take? Or what will it take, I should say.
That's a really tough question. It would require tremendous shift in our politics and in the way of how we're looking at healthcare. And there's a really big debate. Is healthcare a common good, or is it a personal responsibility? And I personally look at it, it's both, right? We are personally responsible for our health, but it's also a common good. We cannot have a healthy society if we don't have healthy people. So I don't see that we will have healthcare for everyone in the very near future, but we are all working towards that so that we all can be healthy. And education is certainly a big part of that.
Thank you. We have another question. Eddie Luna, go ahead.
Yes, good morning, Dr. Lecker. I just have a quick question. Do we have any stats as far as how many of the UTRGV medical school graduates actually stay in the RGV? Like, are we keeping track of that at all? Or do we have any idea?
I'm pretty sure the School of Medicine does that. The only statistics that I have is that students that do their residency, not the medical school training, but the residencies in the Valley or wherever they are, that's usually where they stay. So the residents, most of 90%, over 90% usually stay where they have their residency. And many of our students do match with residencies in the Valley, and so they will be staying.
Understood. Thank you, sir. Thank you, doctor.
But here's an important point that you actually bring up, so is, training a physician takes at least 10 to 15 years. Training in healthcare professions that can do many of the things takes 2 to 4, sometimes 6 years. So it's much faster to produce a functioning healthcare workforce by training more healthcare professionals than having to wait for physicians to be trained.
Thank you, Eddie, for that question. And then we'll have one more because I know we're running a little late. Ms. Wandy?
Sure. Hi, this is Wandy. I'm the registrar actually for the medical school. So that question from Eddie, I can help you a little bit. It's too early to tell how many students are going, how many graduates from the medical school are actually going to be staying in the Valley. If you remember, one of the reasons why the medical school was open is to increase the number of physicians in this area. So that goes, that ties completely with the vision and mission of UTRGV and the medical school. But our first class just graduated in 2020. And like Dr. Lacker said, it takes a few years for them to do their residencies. But statistics say that where they do their residencies, that's mostly where they're going to stay, at least for 5, 7, 10 years. But I know from hearing from some of our alumni, a lot of them are waiting to finish their residencies to come back to the Valley. So that's good news for us, because they love the Valley, and that's one of the reasons why they came to medical school here. So if that helps a little bit with your question, but the answer really, we're going to see the fruits of our labor probably within 10 years of the first class graduating. But it looks good. I can tell you that it looks really, really good.
Thank you, Ms. Wandy. And again, thank you, Eddie, for that question. I know we have a couple of questions and we can forward that to you, Dr. Lecker. We have one from Vincent and Marianne. So we'll definitely relay those questions to you. And
Okay, wonderful.
yes.
All
And if you don't
right.
have any other questions, please feel free to put them in the chat and we'll get that info for you all.
Yes. I will
Thank you
try
so
to
much,
answer them
Dr.
all, so
Lecker.
just send them in.
Yes, send them all your way. I think you might be
All
our
right.
doctor. All right, thank you so much,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Lecker. Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah,
All
Linda,
right.
when you send those questions in, can you copy me on them?
Yes, we'll do,
Okay.
Dominga. Thank you, Dominga.
Thank you.
Mhm. All right, our next guest speaker is our coach, Travis Bush. He is our UTRGV head coach of football. So welcome, Coach Bush.
Good morning. Thank you. You hear me good? Hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Good morning, and excited to be on here this morning and appreciate the opportunity to speak and kind of give an update of where we are with football at UTRGV. And it's something that's been talked about for a long time, and here we are, and we're going, and we're, there's not just one thing we're working on right now, but going in about 1,000 different directions. And it's such a long process starting out. And, right now we're in our big building phase, and we're working on building a staff right now. You'll see in the next few months a lot of construction around the athletic pieces on campus to build some facilities, not only for football, but all sports at the same time. Building a team, already recruiting for the class of 2024, and that'll be the first class we bring in with students. But I think the biggest thing we're excited about is the support and the excitement around here, the support, not just from community and staff or campus and staff, but all the communities in the Valley. And I think the fact that, we've already sold close to 1,500 season tickets we're still 924 days away from our first ball game shows you the support and the excitement. But something that's they've wanted around here for a long time, and here we are, and we're going, and it's huge. I think football is huge. Division I university in Texas, it's going to be big, and there's a huge market for Division I college football. But on our end, this is way bigger than football. In reality, we're just a small piece of the university. And then having been a part of this at a couple of places and having seen firsthand what adding football, along with having a successful football program, can do for the entire university. I think the biggest piece here, which we've talked about, is really kind of completing the total campus life for our students. You're adding a marching band, you have college football, you got your game day atmosphere. We got 16 Division I sports already, but really just kind of giving them the final pieces there of that college experience. And you look at the traditions, that around athletics and football at universities, and giving our students that opportunity. But a big piece too is exposure of the university, and having been a part of it. Admissions, enrollment, it's going to go up, and being able to have a football team and other athletic programs to gain that exposure. You start playing on TV and things like that, and you're going to get a lot of people from outside this region enrolling and coming down here to the university. And even bringing, you start talking game day atmospheres, bringing teams down here and fans and people from outside the region. Again, the impact it can have on the communities around here. And even going back to not necessarily UTSA being on that original staff when we started that program, and seeing what that entire university's become here in the past 10 to 12 years. But going back to even 20 years ago, being on the kind of the front end of TCU's resurgence to successful college football. But you look at you start getting on TV and contracts and conferences and bowl games, and now you have the opportunity to generate millions of dollars back to the university, and it's really, again, to the entire university. So as us coming in here as a program, that's our ultimate goal. And then how can we enhance this already great university? How can we give our students the best possible experience they can have while they're in college? And we have a lot of work to do, and tons of things to get accomplished through the next couple of years, and even years beyond that, to get to the point that we're talking about. But we appreciate everyone's support, excited about it on our end, and what we can do and what we can add to this university. And again, thank you for the opportunity to be here and the time this morning. And I know there might be some questions, or if there's any questions, specific questions. I could sit here and talk for 3 days on everything we have to get done in the next couple of years. But the big thing is, we're excited to be here. We're excited to be part of this family and university, and appreciate all the support.
Thank you, Coach. We do have a question. It's from Mr. John Aska. What does a practice season encompass, and what does that mean exactly?
Great great question. So we talk about bringing that first class in 24, and similar timeline we had it at UTSA. So you're bringing that class in the fall. You're not going to play any games, so everyone in that class will have a redshirt year, on their eligibility clock there. But there's a lot of different ways to do it, but you're pretty much practicing with no games. So there's some unique ways you got to kind of keep the morale up, and but it's a great development year for those young guys. And we look back, it really helped those freshmen get acclimated to college life. You don't have the stresses of playing games or traveling. Really helps them start off with a great GPA, and that'll be the focus there coming in. But there'll be some things we can we can do with scrimmages, and we got some plans to move those around the valley. It's just got to get that initial, people are going to be excited when they see a team out there practicing, and then we're still a year away from games, so we'll do some things to get the people involved and keep that excitement going.
Thank you. Next question we have from Eddie Luna. Are we looking at local talent to fill out the roster, or are we looking to recruit nationwide?
I think, being FCS in Texas, I don't think we need to go outside the state, but, we're going to walk across the street and start recruiting, and that's going to be, and that's anywhere. You want to recruit your area first, your region first. So we're going to start in the valley and work our way up in the state of Texas. And being where we're at, we've talked about dipping down into Mexico, and there's some big bodies down there as well. And if they love football down there as well, but definitely we want to take the best we can here out of the valley first and give them that opportunity. Going back to that first initial year in 2024, you're roughly gonna have about 20 to 25 scholarship players on that first class, but you're gonna need about 60 to 80 to practice. So you're gonna have to rely on a lot of walk-ons, and especially a lot of local talent in that first year to field that team. And then going back to UTSA, same thing we had there is you're going to have a lot of guys that have that opportunity to be on that initial team. Guys will eventually, there's going to be some guys that earn spots, earn scholarships. We had a guy that walked on and ended up in the NFL early on those days in UTSA. So, but definitely going to start from home and work our way out from here.
And in regards to red shirts, one of the questions from David Huvad is, will the first team be all freshmen / red shirts, or are you also planning to recruit transfers?
Yeah, that's a good question. Looking back at UTSA, we didn't have the transfer portal back then, so that gives us a different dynamic as a program. From the culture standpoint, you want to establish a culture and build a foundation in your program, which we want to do with high school student athletes in the area, in the state. But having that ability now to kick off and maybe have some upperclassmen in certain positions, we will definitely utilize all the resources we have. From a culture standpoint, we don't want a team of 80 guys from different areas and not get to establish a foundation and a culture. But we will have that opportunity. We will utilize the best resources we can to put the best product on the field off the go.
A question from Ms. Ann Toll. What priority will RGV athletes have for recruitment and scholarships?
Can you explain that one? What?
Ms. Ann Toll, can you further elaborate on that? Ms. Toll? Okay, I guess we can circle back to that question.
Yeah,
no worries.
Try to clarify the priority part.
Okay, so next question is, will games be played in different locations, specifically Brownsville or Ellenburg?
Game right now anticipating, starting off our home stadium in Edinburgh at HEB Park. But we will, we'll play at least one game a year in Brownsville, and really, utilize that piece of the valley and campus as well. So that's what we've got planned so far. Looking forward.
All right. So questions for what challenges do you anticipate with starting a new program at the age of NIL and the transfer portal?
Good. Yeah, there's a lot of unknowns as we go. When you look at the landscape of college football and how it's changed, how it changes yearly. And again, we're 924 days away from kickoff. So what does that entail by the time we get there? But again, going back to, utilizing every resource we can, and we'll cross that bridge as we get kicked, as we start to recruit student athletes to campus and in the NIL game. But we're going to have to find ways to compete across the nation and make sure we're doing the best we can to get the best student athletes here.
Yeah. And circling back to Anatol's question, so what priority will RGV athletes have for recruitment and scholarships? So she just wanted to know if they are going to be considered.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Okay. All right. Will any games be televised by UTRGV local media?
I think, those are, we've already started talking terms of things like that, but that's down the road. But, anticipating of course, the most we can market our university and our student athletes, we want to do that.
Right. Another question, tailgating. Will we be able to tailgate throughout the whole game, or do we need to close shop once the game starts, like Tamuk does?
I think those decisions will be out of my hands, but I don't know if you can stop anyone in the Valley from tailgating if they want to tailgate. So I hope it's I anticipate an amazing atmosphere. You look at HEB Park and how it's set up. It's a beautiful piece. So it's going to be I can't wait. 924 days away. It's going to be a fantastic atmosphere just to be a part of.
We should definitely have a countdown somewhere in the Valley, like a huge billboard. So thank you, Staff Center Melanie, for putting the 924 days to kick off. All right, any more questions? We did have one, and I think we can, how can we purchase tickets first game season? I believe an email was sent out with that, but go for it. This is your question. They all want to ask you, so. Yeah,
I tell you what, they're going fast. It's been impressive, amazing. But I know our ticket office, it's online on the athletic website, and I believe it's tickets, utrgvtickets.com, and get them while you can. Right now, it's just a deposit. It's $25 deposit to basically reserve a season ticket. And as we come out, it kind of reserves an order of being able to go in and select your seat down the road. But yeah, it's been impressive how fast those are stacking up.
All right. And we do have a couple of comments. Welcome to the family and welcome home.
Thank you.
All right. Any other questions? Colleague? Here's a question. Are we running a 3-4 defense or 4-3?
Hopefully, hopefully we'll be able to do both. And, we want to be multiple. And that's a good question. So people want to know, hey, what do we run on offense? What do we run on defense? And, definitely want to stay on the cutting edge of offense and defense. And you look at a lot of teams across the nation, but, hopefully, and it depends, what we have coming in, talent wise and what we're playing against, but want to be, explosive offensively and multiple and up tempo and spread. But, same thing defensively, want to be 3-4, 4 down, do what you got to do to make sure we can match up with everything the offenses are giving us.
I'm going to say some of this terminology I don't know, but I'm learning right now. So by the time we get to that season, I'm going to be pretty equipped to know this. So, all right. So on the website, you will log in general public. So Seth is answering, reach out to the office ticket. Okay. So will we be competing in the WAC?
So actually, the WAC is where we're in right now in all sports. Some of those schools don't play football. So what's happening right now is the football playing team, the football schools in the WAC and the football schools in the ASUN conference are going to merge and form a football only conference that will open this year. They're still working on, we're having meetings on the actual name since it's a football only conference, but it's going to be a very competitive conference starting out. When you're adding Eastern Kentucky and Central Arkansas, North Alabama, you got Tarleton, Abilene Christian, SFA, Southern Utah, Utah Tech. It's going to be a pretty good football league to start out with.
Okay, awesome. Circling back to a location question, do you have a general idea of where Brownsville games would be played?
Sam Stadium is the plan, and they've got a historic stadium there that holds up to 12,000 people.
Okay. And then do we have discount for staff and students?
I hope so. That would be
I'll leave that to the peeps over there.
That would be a question for the ticket office, I guess.
Yes, indeed. All right. Any other questions? Curiosity.
And just to answer your question, so the 3-4 defense has 3 down linemen and 4 linebackers. The 4-3 has 4 down linemen and 3 linebackers. So now
there you go, Eddie. There's your answer.
So I was a defensive nose, so I'm like, what are we running? I'm kind of curious.
You got any eligibility left?
No, my back says I don't.
Maybe we can do like a So I know obviously you're gonna have your students playing, but maybe we can do like a scrimmage with staff or something, just for the fun of it,
Well, I tell you one thing, we will have, we will have a tryout to see what's already on campus. I believe there's probably some FCS caliber guys on campus already that may not have had an opportunity to go somewhere. So we're going to definitely see what's on campus first before we bring anyone in from the outside.
All right. We'll take 2 more questions. And so from Ms. Maria Jaramillo, what about the uniforms? Ms. Maria, would you like to further elaborate on that?
Well, we're in the process of designing.
Okay.
Go ahead. Designing uniforms right now. Really looking to same thing. You look at college football and recruiting, and I think you got to be multiple and have multiple uniforms. But utilizing our school colors, orange and white and gray, and so looking at the combinations we can have there. But we definitely want to be the sharpest looking team around.
Right. And one last question: is there a possibility of a stadium being built here in Edinburg down the line?
I think that could be a legitimate possibility. It depends, you look at the landscape and where we go, and do we outgrow the stadiums that are in place right now? But there is land, there is future plans, planning for that piece on campus as we start putting facilities on campus.
Great, awesome. And just a comment, so we have Vincent already wanting to buy the game jerseys, so he can't wait to see them and wear them. So we're all hyped up here. It's kind of different environment for Zoom because everyone's like, in their own little square. But we can assure your coach that we're all excited for this, and we do definitely welcome you. I don't know if you had any other comments or topics you like to address.
No, I mean, if there's anything we can do. You reach out, my email's on the website or however you want to get a hold of us. But we're part of this campus. Whatever we can do to help, please reach out and let us know. And we appreciate each and every one of you.
All right, thank you so much, Coach Bush, and I hope you have a wonderful day and welcome once again.
Thank you. Yes. I'll do the same.
Have a great day.
You too.
All right, our next guest speaker is Dr. Ray Ramos. He is our Associate Vice President for Student Success. Welcome, Dr. Ramos.
Welcome, Yadi. And I tell you, I'm gonna have to give you grief later for making me follow a rock star like Coach Bush. So nothing like following, nothing like following Coach Bush in football. So thanks for that. I appreciate it.
Yes.
You guys, I'm really pleased to be with you guys this morning. Ray Ramos from Student Success. I really just wanted to be able to share some news with you guys. We have launched a brand new website, and so with that, I wanted to sort of start getting word out before we start getting a lot of questions back in Student Success and academic advising. So let me share here. Can I share, Gadi?
Yes, but let me go ahead and access. Give me just one moment.
See if it.
My apologies on that one.
All right.
Okay, you should be able to now.
So let's see if this multicolored thing is where it's going to land.
Yes.
Can you see it now or no?
We can see color.
I see color. How about now?
Yes. Presentation, yes.
Awesome, guys. So let's start with a terrible pun, right? Those of you that grew up in the 90s, that might have been listening to some pop music and R&B back in the day, might have been down with OPP. What we want your students to be down with is OPPD, right? The Office of Pre-Professional Development. We have launched this new office. When I first arrived at UTRGV 3 years ago, I arrived in health affairs. And one of the questions that I kept asking to Dr. Lecker and others, I really appreciated his talk earlier, by the way, was where is the pre-professional support for our students? So all those students that not only want to be pre-med, but want to be pre-dent, pre-PT, pre-OT, pre-PA, pre-whatever, right, for professional exams, there wasn't sort of a campus-wide initiative for this. And so what we are attempting to do is to build off of the wonderful work that Dr. Scott Gunn and Dr. Gustavo Stern were doing out of an office in the sciences that predominantly worked with students in the sciences who wanted to be pre-med. And so now what we've been given the charge of doing with the support of Dr. Bailey and Dr. Arnie and Dr. Charlton is to really for the first time have a campus-wide office that will support all of these students that have an interest in pursuing a post-secondary professional degree, right? So I wanted to just chat with you guys a little bit about what the design is or the plans are for this particular office. I will let you guys know that right off the bat, if I can advance my slide. Right, the plan is that we will have support services both on the Brownsville campus and the Edinburgh campus. We have very intentionally placed this office within sort of the umbrella of academic advising. There's going to have to be some close collaboration between our health and sciences advisors and really our other advisors, right? Because we have students outside of health programs that have an interest in sort of professional degrees, right? They might be liberal arts, they might be in other colleges or schools. And so we want to make sure that we're able to support them in the same way. So we have very specific plans to provide services each week via the two campuses. The team, when we initially began, undoubtedly is going to be small. Right, we're in the process of making an offer, hopefully this week, by the end of this week, to a program manager that is going to help coordinate this office. We will have a variety of different services, but because the team is going to be so small, we are really going to have to leverage collaborations with other people on campuses. It's going to be vitally important, as I mentioned, that academic advisors are working with this office to ensure that our students are on track and they know that what they need in order to pursue these professional degrees. We're going to have to build very quickly a network of faculty mentors that's able to speak to these students not only about what it's going to take to face the rigors of a professional program, but also what it really means to be a PA or a doctor or a pharmacist or a dentist, those sorts of things. We are already in discussions with Dean Ancira and sciences. We will work with Dr. Lecker and others to hopefully get these faculty mentors really in the fold pretty quickly and for certain by next fall, when I anticipate really that the full brunt of this office will be in place. I think that also it's going to be important for us to sort of grow a program for student ambassadors. So students that are upperclassmen that have already begun preparing or been through admissions processes, that have been through interviews, those sorts of things. So that way they can also help mentor our students. So we hope not only to have faculty mentors, but also peer-to-peer mentors that will help prepare our students in the best way possible. These are sort of the pathways that we anticipate serving right off the bat. So whether they want to go pre-med, if they wanted to go to a school of podiatric medicine, they want to be a dentist, a PA, either an ophthalmologist or optometrist, because I know that we have students that want both. A pharmacist, a PT, veterinarian, or OT are the ones that we're going to focus on initially. You notice the lawyer right here is sort of has that orange line around it. We will add pre-law to the mix here. Those of you that know me well know that I had the pleasure of serving as both the Director of Admissions and the Dean of Students at the University of Texas School of Law for a decade. So we hope to capitalize on that experience and work with our folks in the Law School Preparatory Institute that's already in place on campus to ensure that our students that want to go pre-law will have a level of support as well. If you have visited our website, you will see that these are the pathways that are listed. The lawyer, the pre-law is not yet listed, but that will be coming here in very short order. So what do we plan to do through this office? Really, again, it's to provide a wealth of different services. Obviously, we plan to have programming and outreach to our undergraduate students. There's an element of major and career exploration that I think needs to happen. We have so many students that come in that don't quite know exactly what it is they want to do, right? They might want, what I hear from a lot of folks, for example, I want to be a nurse because I want to help people. But it may be that nursing is not the path that they truly want to be. They just don't know what else is under sort of that health professions umbrella, right? And so it may be that we have to do a better job from the very beginning when they arrive as freshmen to help them understand what the options are and what is going to put them in the best stead to be successful from the very beginning. Knowing how important GPA is, knowing how important entrance exams are, knowing how important it is to build a resume, all those sorts of things, right? They're going to have to know from a very, very early point in their academic career. And so we hope to do that. The program manager will be responsible also for some one-on-one advising, right? So if these students want to come in and meet with somebody and have a one-on-one session, we will build that with the assistance of the academic advisors, right? Because they're going to help keep them on track with their degree requirements. And then our program manager will have to step in and help them understand sort of what the timeline is. What should you be doing your first, your second, your third, your fourth year? When do you apply? When should you be taking the entrance exams? All of that is going to have to be a collaborative effort between both the academic advisor and the program manager. The link for the website is listed there. It is live. So if you have any students that are interested in some of these programs, I would suggest you send them to this website. On the first page of the website, there is a survey. One of the things that I don't think we've been doing well enough at UTRGV thus far that I hope we will be able to help with is really truly know who these students are on campus. I think we have a wealth of students, probably in the thousands of students that want to be pre-professional, but we need to really be able to identify them so that way we're able to bring them in and offer this support. So please send them to this website, help them understand that filling out that survey will be imperative for them. So that way we know who they are. We obviously will help with application processes, with timelines, with prereqs, with personal statements, with personal interviews, with letters of rec, understanding the different levels of application services that there are separately for medical school and PA school and dental school, right? There's a lot of varying application services. Some are held by one particular service that helps 3 different pathways, but we want to help with those processes. Obviously, helping with guidance on whether it's the MCAT, the GRE, the OAT, the DAT, whatever entrance exam there is for that particular pathway, we want to be able to support as well. Obviously, making the connections with the faculty mentors. This office the office will also be responsible for JAMP. So, right, an early admissions program for medical students that will be transitioning over to this office. I just met with the state JAMP director last week. So we're in the process of making all of those changes as well. And then obviously providing some support for some other early admissions processes. You all might know about Vaqueros MD, which is the early admissions program for our medical school. There's also PACT, which is the early admissions program for our PA program. And we will also be helping with Vaqueros DPM, which will be the new early admissions program for our School of Podiatric Medicine. So helping our students understand what those programs are and what needs to be done to earn right a spot in these early admissions programs will be part of what we need to do, of course, in collaboration with all of these various programs. That's really what I wanted to share with you guys. Want to see if there are any questions that you might have for me.
There was one question, Dr. Ramos, but you already answered it. It was from Janie Pinzana, and I'll just go ahead and read it off. Dr. Ramos, I just had a call from a parent asking if they could sign up for early admission to physical therapy. I informed them that our college wasn't offering that early admission yet, but is your office extending anything like this to the physical therapy career path? So yeah, she just clarified that.
Yeah, and those programs, right, just to be clear, aren't offered through our office. There are programs that are developed specifically within those colleges or schools. So the Vaqueros MD, right, is coordinated out of the School of Medicine. We just want to help support students by helping them understand what the requirements are for those programs and when they should be applying for them, right? So we want to help them with those sorts of things. The PAC program is already in place through the PA studies program. And like I said, the podiatric medicine program is about to be launched here probably in the spring is what I'm understanding. So more to come on those things, but certainly we can help students understand what they are and what they need to do to gain early admission.
Okay. Another question, aside from the website, is there a phone number that students can reach out to the department?
There is. It is listed on the website. I believe it's 956-665-3515. I would hold off on steering people that way. I would love to get our program manager in place first. I hope to have the program manager in place in the next 2 weeks is the hope. And then soon thereafter, we also will have a specialized email address that we're waiting on confirmation for. As soon as we receive confirmation on that, we'll post that on the website as well. So either visiting us in person at TTB in Edinburgh or the Advising Center in Maine in Brownsville, the website, email address, and then we'll have the phone number here, right, with a live person answering here the next couple of weeks.
Thank you, Dr. Ramos. Any more questions?
Dr. Ramos, this wasn't part of your presentation, but at one point you asked about Latino males on campus, and I think you were undergoing a study. I know UT Austin did something with that. Where are you with that? Can you expand on that?
Yeah, we're hoping to roll this out. We in fact are getting a working group together right, what we're trying to determine is how best to roll this program out, right? There's no doubt that in the data that we're seeing at UTRGV, our Latino males are underperforming at every key benchmark, right? And so we want to be able to retain them and graduate them at higher rates. We just need to figure out how we get our Latino males right, really to come and participate. We know that engagement on this campus is not optimal, right? Because we're so highly commuter and a lot of our students will come to campus for their classes and then go off and work. We really need to find a way to do that. So if anybody is interested in being a part of that working group, to be a part of those initial discussions, like I said, we have the name of the organization. We also have a female initiative that is ready to go. We just need help from staff and from faculty that are willing to be partners in this. But we hope to have our first programming for ALMA, which is the Latino Male Initiative. And we're talking about expanding it and really creating a Men of Excellence umbrella so it captures all men on campus, right? So whether you're African-American, whether you're Caucasian, or whether you're Latino, you'll be captured by one of those two programs. We also anticipate doing the same thing for Women of Excellence, right? So capturing all women on top of ALAS, which is the Latina initiative that we hope to launch. So anybody that wants or is interested in participating in this working group, just send me an email to raimundo.ramos@utrgv.edu. I'm happy to have you on board.
Thanks for that update, Dr. Ramos.
Yeah, I appreciate the question.
All right, any other questions? to pre-professionals. For some reason, just a side note, I think all the questions or the comments are directing towards me privately. So we have great work. So Belinda Reyes says great work on what you're doing, Dr. Ramos. But does anyone have any other questions or concerns in regards to any of those two topics? Right.
All right. Appreciate your time. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Dr. Ramos. All right, our next guest speaker is it'll be a collaboration here. So we have Mrs. Shakira Regosa. She is the executive director and co-founder of the Sentley Center. And then we'll have Ms. Claudia Garcia. Ms. Shakira, you're here. I can see you now. Yes. You're on mute, by the way.
There we go. Thank you. Hi, good morning, everyone. Thank you for allowing us to come and share what we're doing this morning. I'm with Sentley Center for Regenerative Agriculture, and we're a nonprofit based here in Edinburg, Texas. We started up in 2020 to address the needs of the community for access to fresh produce. And we've been working with Ms. Claudia Garcia with the community or the Campus Food Security Initiative for the past couple of years, getting our fresh produce to the UTRGV community. We've been working to make this more convenient for everyone to access the great produce that is grown right here in the Valley. So I myself am a farmer. I'm originally from Florida, but I've been in the Valley since 2007, and I actually own and operate Terra Preta Farm. We're a certified organic farm. And I started Sentley Center during the pandemic when we had a huge outreach of people from the community looking for fresh produce, looking for eggs, all of those things. And we realized that there is a big disconnect. People don't know who their local farmers are or where to go to buy all of this great produce. So Sentley Center, our mission is to reconnect the people to the land, the local food system. We do a lot of educational programs with students, but one of our other projects or programs is doing a veggie box program. We use the traditional term is CSA, which is community supported agriculture. So the community members come and they purchase and support those products in advance for the whole season. But that method has evolved, and now it's more of a support as you can system. So we have members purchase one box at a time, or they can sign up for several or a few. So we've been lucky to work with Ms. Garcia, with Claudia, and we've been providing these boxes or making them available to staff at a discounted rate. So all UTRGV staff will receive a discount, and in a little bit, my colleague Priscilla Carvajal will do a demo of how you can go about and purchase those online using that discount. And we work with one of the communities, the UTRGV community farms. There is one located on the Edinburg campus, well, close by, through a partnership with the Edinburg First Methodist Church. It's called the Hub of Prosperity. I'm not sure how many of you have heard of it, but it's really beautiful little farm over there on Mom Mackin University. So we've been taking the produce over there weekly, and they have been helping us and working with us to provide those during their farmers markets. So there's a market they set up there from 9 to 11 on Saturdays, and that's where we're able to bring those boxes to the community. And what do they have? So the veggie boxes come with 6 to 8 vegetables, and that's a medium-sized box, which I think is convenient for most people if we're just now starting to incorporate more in our diet. We're still sticking to our New Year's resolutions. But that's the one most people start off with. But we also have the large box for those who are plant-based that comes with 8 to 10 items. And everything is sourced here locally from the RGV. So from local farmers, they mostly are on a small scale. They probably are farming on less than an acre. So we try to support those small growers. And so we try and spread out what we get from each of them. And we work with about 10 right now, 10 local producers. And one of those producers is the Hub of Prosperity. So at the Hub, the students go and they get to apply what they're learning in their agroecology classes. And they do have quite a bit of produce they're producing right now. So for example, in this week's box, you'll find broccoli and celery from the hub. So we're supporting our UTRGV farm and the other local farmers. So I will see if Priscilla's available. If she's on, I'll let her share her screen and she can show you how to walk through the process of purchasing. Right now, we do just have the option to pick up at the Hub of Prosperity on Saturday mornings, but if there's a lot of interest, we'd be interested in trying to set up a pickup at a location in Bronzeville. So please reach out to us if that's something anyone might be interested in hosting a pickup or a distribution time over there in Bronzeville. So Priscilla, are you able to share your screen to give a quick demo of the site?
Sure, I'm on right now and I can start sharing. And I also uploaded the link to the website in the chat box if anybody wants to go check it out for themselves. But I'm going to share my screen and here we go. So as you can see, we have this really nice website. It's pretty easy to use for everyone. We have our home. It kind of tells you what we are about, what we're trying to do. And you're able to register as a customer. We tried to make that pretty easy down here. Let me just. And once you register as a customer, then you're able to start ordering. You can order the boxes like Shakira was saying, and it's called the Farm to Go boxes. And you initially will choose what your pickup place is. And as Shakira said, it's the Hub of Prosperity. And you would choose the different sizes that you want. You're also to be able to choose them on a weekly or bi-weekly. I know for like bigger families, the large works really well. And the bi-weekly works for like people who probably don't eat a lot of vegetables throughout the week. But another like highlight is that anytime you order a box, you can, or if you don't want to order a box, you can go to our online market and order everything a la carte, which is really cool because we get a lot of like Shakira says, seasonal products. So right now, what do we have in season is citrus, and it's from a local grower from Triple J Organics. Maybe you've heard of them, but their grapefruit was probably one of the best I've ever had. And again, we're supporting local. We're trying to push that when you buy local, you're actually saving money. And so and it lasts so much longer in your refrigerator. And I feel like some people don't realize that you spend maybe $30-$40 at the grocery store. However, you're having to throw it away because it doesn't last as long. I think I had gotten lettuce from Terra Preta like a few weeks ago, and I still have it in my refrigerator. So it's the benefits. It lasts longer. It's more nutritionally dense for you and your family. Again, we do add products that are either value added, like pickled jalapenos, or even honey that's locally grown here or locally sought here in Donna, actually from the Our Farm. So we're trying to bring you not only like from the local growers, but other products from the other farmers that they're doing as well. If you have any questions, please always contact us via email or through the site. I will be available to help if you have any questions, and I will share my information in the chat box so that you can contact me via text or telephone, and as well as email. Thank you.
Thank you, Priscilla.
So we wanted to mention that our UTRGV community will be able to receive a 10% discount with Vaqueros for the CSA boxes and all caps, and also the online market where you can purchase items individually, and that would be Vaquero without an S. So, and we're here to help you out with that, and we hope that we can provide you with the fresh vegetables and make it easier for you and make it convenient as well. Any questions for us?
Any questions, anyone? All right. Thank you, Ms. Shakira. And well, definitely, if there's any questions, we'll relay those to you. But thank you for this information. We also have Ms. Claudia Garcia. Want to go?
Yes, hi. Thank you for this opportunity. It's great to see so many familiar faces and others that I haven't been able to meet yet. So I currently serve as a program coordinator for the Office of Professional Education and Workforce Development. I've been at the university for the last almost 12 years, but within this office for the last a year and a half. And one of the most exciting things that I've gotten to do is work with the Campus Food Security Initiative. So for those of you that might not be familiar with this and why something like this would be part of the Office of Professional Education and Workforce Development, it is a very innovative workforce development initiative for our UTRGV students. So we employ anywhere between 7 to 11 students regularly to work on addressing food security on campus. So through serving and addressing our mission, students also get to develop professional skills that they need in order to prepare for their future careers. We address food security on campus by increasing access to locally grown fresh produce. So hence the partnership and the outreach that we're doing with local farms and with Scently, as you just heard Shakira talk about. And we also do that through fostering healthy eating habits, which is something that we all need so very much. So by having students learn and then talk to other students, we have that peer-to-peer education that is so much needed. There are many things that we do on our daily basis. I'm going to type up our website link so that you can learn a little bit more about what the Campus Food Security Initiative is and what opportunities there are for not just students, but staff like us and faculty. And we're also very active on social media, particularly Instagram, because that's the best way to reach our students. So we make all of our information and educational, recipes fun and very engaging so that we get to change habits or eating habits a little bit, little by little at a time. So I'm going to include that on the chat so that you can learn a little bit more about that. But there's one thing that I want to share with you quickly, which is an additional opportunity in addition to the Farm to Go boxes on a weekly basis on Tuesdays that we have now called our Pay What You Can Tuesdays. We offer our students, but it's also available to all of our staff and faculty, Pay What You Can meals, which are prepared with locally grown produce that is fresh and is in season at our research kitchen, which is located really close to campus across from UREC at the BSM Global Blends Deli. So it's by Pay What You Can. So our students are able to go there and just like it says, pay whatever they can afford for a very healthy meal that's prepared fresh that day. And then as of last week, we started a collaboration with the Hub of Prosperity Farm, and they are also including a fresh produce stand right there on site at the terrace where you can find locally grown fresh produce that they have during their Saturdays markets, but you can find them really close to campus. So you can, during your lunch break between 11 and 11 a.m. and 2 p.m., you can pick up a fresh meal. What you pay for it will go back to purchasing ingredients and more fresh produce to prepare meals for our students. Something great about collaborations that we have established is that we now have a sustainable food network, which is composed of stakeholders all across campus that care about addressing food security and that care about everything that we've been discussing. And those include the Student Food Pantry, which we collaborate really closely with them. We prepare meals that get distributed to students during the pickup and distribution hours. We also, anything we come up with in terms of our recipes, we make sure that we're utilizing some of the ingredients that our students can find at the food pantry so that they get to do more with the budget that they have. Of course, always incorporating fresh produce. We work with the community garden where our student organizations have adopted garden beds. We have our own garden beds. We also collaborate with the Center for Sustainable Agriculture and Rural Advancement, nutritional science faculty, as Dr. Laker was explaining earlier. It's such a key, part of our lives to eat well. And by having our own, experts and everybody just come together, staff, faculty, expertise, resources to really help our students, be well in order to do well in school. It's all we care about. So anyone is able to join our network. We have staff senate representatives. So our Melanie and Ricardo serve in the Sustainable Food Network. And we also have representation from Student Government Association. So if I can share my screen, I'll quickly show you our latest poster that talks about the fresh produce table, also at Pay What You Can for our students. Please promote this among students that you serve, students that you teach, and also use it yourself. Come visit. Here you have our QR code to our Instagram, where you can follow us to learn more about different events that we host on campus for students in our community in general. I'm happy to take any questions. In the meantime, I'm going to be including the links that I promised to include.
We do have a question. How can we find out where meals are being sold on campus from Dolores Villarreal?
Yes. So if you follow our Instagram, it's one of the best ways to find out different pop-up opportunities. The ones that are permanent are currently on Tuesdays. Right here, what you see in the flyer that I'm displaying right now, it's across from UREC in Edinburgh at the BSM Global Blends location. That's where our research kitchen is located. So we have a group of students from all different disciplines, but many from our nutrition majors that work under the guidance of a culinary specialist, utilizing the fresh produce that's in season, ingredients that you find at the food pantry, plus other ingredients that we get to purchase through our initiative to prepare these meals. So definitely Tuesdays, 11 to 2, you can find them, but we also collaborate with student organizations to help them fundraise. So they get to work with us, they get to learn about sustainable food systems, actually prepare meals alongside with us, and then they come to campus to sell them. So those opportunities, you'll get to find out more through the Messenger, through our Instagram, and through the organizations that promote them. For example, next week, we'll have a collaboration with AMSA, it's the American Medical Student Academy. And they are going to be collaborating with us next Thursday. So at noontime at the library, you can stop by to purchase a meal, and all the profit goes straight to the student organizations.
Thank you, Claudia. We do have a couple of questions, and I'll combine them both because they're the same question. Will you all be having a kitchen or location sometime in the future at the Brownsville campus?
Yes, there's nothing more that we would love more than that. We are working on that. Currently, the funds we're funded out of the Student Fee Advisory Committee, who believes in the purpose and the mission that we have, but we're trying to do as much as we can with the funding that we have available. Currently, we're not able to pay or rent the space out of the Brownsville campus, but we are looking for different opportunities to still offer this type of work over there. So next month we'll be doing a food demonstration for students and sampling at Casa Bella Apartments. They have a beautiful clubhouse and with a full kitchen that we get to utilize to work with students in showing them how to cook and how to prepare meals over there. We currently don't have a permanent location, but we do find lots of ways to engage with our students in the Brownsville campus as well. But we'll keep you posted if we have an expansion or additional news. We work with students from Brownsville and Edinburgh. Some of them commute, some of them work remotely with all the efforts that we have for our initiative, and we definitely want to continue to expand this.
Good information, Ms. Claudia. I know Faye went ahead and shared the Wellness Wednesdays flyer.
Oh, yes, thank you.
And Tammy, sharing like the lovely places that Brownsville has. Like we have a new need for Brownsville too, so that would be wonderful for the students. So definitely you already addressed that. But let's stay hopeful, y'all. All right. Did you want to do the polling, Claudia?
Yes, if we have time, we could do a poll. So we prepared a few questions to assess the need, and also preferences in terms of the farm to go boxes, in terms of locations. We tried in the late fall distributing at the BSM Global Blends location, having some pickup hours for our staff that signed up for those boxes. So we thought it would be more convenient to have it close to campus at a time where you could go pick them up, during your work hours or right after work. So we prepared a few questions to assess your interest, to see how we can prepare options that could better serve our needs. Yes, thank you.
So one of our staff senators, Ricardo, will be launching the questionnaire. On the third question, just an FYI, we made a little tiny mistake, but we'll address that. So on the other, we literally copy and paste, not sure if we want to ask. So if you, on the other section, if y'all want to indicate in the chat if there's a particular preference for delivery on that. So Ricardo, you want to go ahead and launch the poll? Can everyone see it?
Yeah, it's been launched. Is everybody getting it?
I don't think I'm able to select a answer.
Okay, I think it's because we're the hostess.
Got it. Okay,
Yeah, I was actually testing it out. I was like, I don't know what else to do here.
Yeah, we're getting
But
it.
we will definitely provide you our feedback, Claudia. Personally.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
I was trying to also, I think you just gave me co-host to present. So I
Yes.
was like, I can't.
Yeah, so far we have 50 people have answered. So. All right, any questions that y'all may have for Ms. Claudia or Ms. Shakira by any chance?
If we could have a copy of that flyer you were sharing, Miss Claudia.
Yes, I'm gonna try to include it here in the chat,
Yay.
and then I'll share.
And Ms. Shakira, can you go ahead and please resend the flyer? I think you sent it off to me as well, so I wasn't able to download it on my end. So if you don't mind resharing it, but to everyone, just so everyone can have
Yes.
that access, please.
Okay, yes.
Thank you, ma'am. All right, we'll have the poll going on the side, but if y'all don't have any other questions, we're gonna move on to our committee reports. Thank you once again, Ms. Claudia and Shakira. Y'all did amazing, and Priscilla too. I was trying to look for her name, but it said Vida Farms, and I was like, I can't find Priscilla. So when she spoke, I was like, okay, Vida Farms, let me make her a hostess. So thank y'all so much. All right.
Thank you for having us.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank you
of
for the
course.
opportunity.
And we'll relay those results to you all. So as soon as we get that going.
Thank you.
All right. So our first committee is going to be the Communications Committee, and that is chaired by Ms. Melanie Garza and co-chair Rolando Segovia.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Good morning, everybody. I hope y'all are having an amazing Thursday. I woke up this morning thinking it was Friday, but that's okay. I wanted to, if possible, share my screen. So let me do that.
You should have access now.
So this past homecoming, I hope you all had an amazing time celebrating the institution, and it was awesome seeing y'all's spirit and Vaquero pride. We did have a workspace decorating contest, of which we had all these amazing submissions, which aren't really pulling up. But we did have submissions from registrar, recruitment, admissions, Upward Bound, the OVAP department, Career Center, parking and transportation, even UT Health sent us stuff, the advising center, the biology department. So we were really excited to have you all share how you were decorating your workspaces. At the game this past Saturday, we did announce our winners, and I'm not sure why it's not working. Let me stop sharing really fast. I really like the little graphic. And if you do have any questions about the contest, please refer them to staffsenate@utrgv.edu. We really want to make sure that everybody's questions are answered, so we can continue having awesome events like this. We did have 2 awards. We had a Staff Senate award and as well as a audience award, which was based on social media likes. So our audience choice award went to, can y'all see my screen?
We see teams.
Oh, no. My audience, I was about to student. Oh no, anywho, the audience choice award. I'll put our Instagram link, that way you all can check that out. But our audience choice award went to the Career Center and Student Success. We did review the likes the afternoon of February 10th, and it was across all platforms. So they had the most likes on their posts. We did get a lot of likes after that for other postings. So we really love the energy and the collaboration across departments and the Vaquero Pride that we got to see. And then we did have a Staff Senate choice as well, which was based on like your Vaquero Pride, your creativity, and the winners for that was the biology department. So thank you all so much for participating. We will be reaching out to you for your awesome trophy from Staff Senate and a goodie basket. And we hope that you all participate for future contests that we will have, so you can continue finding your orange. I'll reshare in the chat our links to our pages so you can go and follow. And if you have any events that you want to promote, please don't hesitate to email Staff Senate so we can share that out. Thank you.
Thank you, Melanie. Our next committee, we have the Elections and Constitution Committee, and that is chaired by Ms. Monica Granell and co-chaired by Ms. Irene Cardenas.
Hello, good morning. The Elections and Constitution Committee has been coordinating with HR to compile a list of eligible employees for the Staff Senate election nominations that are coming up. We are meeting this afternoon to go over that list and double check and make sure everything's right before we send out the nominations forms. So go ahead and keep an eye on your email for that and think about whether you're interested in serving on Staff Senate, or if you have someone in mind that you'd like to nominate. So just keep an eye out on your email for that. Thank you. That's it.
Thank you. On the Feedback Committee, we have the chair for Jasmine Zuniga and co-chair Marissa Campirano.
Hello, good morning, everyone. My name is Jasmine Zuniga and I'm chair of the Feedback Committee. I don't have any updates for you, but I did want to share with you some submissions that we've worked on and provided feedback for in the past. Let me see if I can share my screen here.
I think I have to make you co-host. There you are, Jasmine. You got it.
I do not see. I don't see where I can share. I can't see it. I don't think oh, there it is. Okay, sorry. Can you use my other one, Jasmine? Yadira?
Let me see.
Sorry, I have 2 names on there.
Okay. Let me try it again. Can you try it now?
No, it still shows as disabled.
I'm gonna make you super hostess then.
Okay, I see. I see it now. Hold
Yes.
on. No, it says host disabled participants. Oh my goodness. Okay. I guess I can just attach it to the chat and I guess everybody can just follow along from there. Sorry guys for the technical difficulties. So I just wanted to share that with you all. Let me see if I can get that on the chat real quick. Sorry, give me a moment. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. Sorry for
That's
taking
okay,
up
no
so much
worries,
of your
you're
time.
good. That's okay. So yes, as we're working with that, thank you all so much. Again, the feedback is just to ensure that how we can better serve you on, obviously, just, there you go. Did y'all get the flight? Yes.
Yes, okay, cool. Sorry, guys. So, yes, these are just some of the submissions that we've done. As you can see, we have a mix of items from traffic concerns to questions on benefits and then access to areas on campus. We review these submissions and then share our findings during our general meetings as information becomes available. Most of these submissions are anonymous and any information provided is not shared in these general meetings, but we do encourage you to provide that contact information so we can reach out to you directly just to make sure that your concerns and interests are properly addressed. I mean, if you feel uncomfortable filling out the form or you're not sure what category it might fall under, we do want you to reach out to us via email or any of your staff members, and they can route that to us and we can kind of go through the steps of some of these. We do have some that are still pending, which are still getting information from, but majority of them we did get completed for, and we did provide some websites and some information for you guys in those past general meetings. Right now I'm gonna go ahead and also place the link on the chat for this form so you guys can go over it, review it. And also, I mean, you can also access it through our Staff Senate website. So feel free to reach out to us and however you feel. And also there are some steps that we do take. So if you want to, you know, get a better understanding of the processes that we go through when we get these submissions, feel free to go through that. And it's also on the Staff Senate website. So like I said, I will share that link with you on the chat and I can't wait to hear from you all. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Jasmine. All right, our next committee is the Staff Success Committee, and that is chaired by Ms. Maribel Mata and co-chair Veronica Villarreal.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I am super excited to update you all on behalf of the Staff Success Committee this month. I wanted to start to get everyone excited for Employee Appreciation Week, which will be from March 1st to the 3rd. Staff Senate will be hosting the breakfast event across campuses on March 3rd, which is also the National Day for Employee Appreciation Day. Other little goodies for employees will be on behalf of UTRGV Athletics. They are providing free admission to staff and faculty at the 2 baseball games over at the UTRGV baseball stadium. Make sure to, in order to redeem, you show an employee ID at the box office. For UREC, complimentary in-body assessments at the Edinburgh and Bronzeville rec offices will be also available. UTRGV campus stores will be providing the 20% off of one apparel or gift item from the stores as well. I know it's a lot of information coming on at you guys. So UMC is finalizing all the activities and the website will be ready in about a week or two. So that way you are able to go in and look over at the leisure of all the activities and events that will be done through Employee Appreciation Week. I see Ms. Karen on the side and I'll let her share a little bit more.
Yes, just to reiterate what Ms. Vettel just mentioned, please be on the lookout for an email communication that will be going out sometime early next week, announcing the events that Vettel just went over, as well as the other incentives that will be made available as part of Employee Appreciation Week from March 1st through the 3rd. So be on the lookout. And if you have any questions about any of these activities, please do not hesitate to reach out to events@utrgv.edu or through your staff senate. And again, we're just very excited about being able to celebrate our UTRGV employees, our staff and faculty. You do so much year round to support the mission of our university. And this is just one way that we get to say thank you. Although again, employee appreciation is a year round effort, right? So mark the date for now, March 1st to the 3rd. And again, we'll be sending out more information early next week.
Thank you.
All right, so now we're going to public comments and questions. Anyone have any other announcements that they'd like to share?
I have one.
Go for it, Karen.
Thank you, Madam President. So the university is sponsoring Charo Days and Sombrero Fest, which, as you all may know, are two big community events for our Brownsville community. And as part of the sponsorship for Sombrero Fest, the university will be having the Vaquero balloon out there, and we'll also be receiving a space to table at Sombrero Fest. And Sombrero Fest is over a 3-day period, so Thursday, February 23rd through Saturday, February 25th. So Thursday through Saturday of next week, we'll be tabling out there. If you are interested in being an ambassador for a university, for helping share information about UTRGV, encouraging folks to take a photo with their Vaquero balloon, please do not hesitate to reach out. You can reach out to me at events@utrgv.edu or to my email account directly. And you can do this as an individual or as part of your department. And so if you reach out, I'll share more specifics like on the timeframes, because the timeframes are all day. So we don't expect you to be out there all day. We have shifts, and the shifts are typically from about 3 to 4 hours. So whatever timeframe you're available, and if you would like to attend, please let us know. And the great thing is that by tabling, you'll receive a wristband for that particular day. And so if you want to help out in the morning and volunteer, and then come back in the afternoon and the evening and hang out at Sombrero Fest and have some fun, you can use the same pass. But again, just want to invite you, and then also want to make sure to mention we obviously want you to make sure with your department that it's okay for you to be out there if it's during the day, or if it's in the evening, we're happy to have you as well. So again, don't hesitate to reach out. Sombrero Fest, Thursday, February 23rd through Saturday, February 25th.
Thank you, Karen. I do have an announcement from the B3 Institute. They do have the Spanish for faculty and staff. So I'm going to put in the chat their link. I believe classes are supposed to begin today. It's an online synchronous for 10 weeks. Beginning, and then there's an intermediate, and there's a conversational. So if y'all want to check that out, and again, something awesome, an opportunity to learn a second language if you don't, or not, enhance that Spanish. All right, if there aren't any other public comments or questions, we will now move on to make a motion to adjourn. May I have a staff center to make that motion?
Actually, Yadira, if Madam President, if I may, I have one more announcement that I can share on behalf of another department.
Yes.
So I'm not sure if Student Activities is on, but I can go ahead and mention it on their behalf. Charreada is also happening Wednesday, February 22nd. So Wednesday of next week from 1 to 3 at our Brownsville campus at the Student Union lawn. And so that is the university's event during Charo Days, and it's hosted by our Student Activities area, our Center for Student Involvement, and there will be lots of games and fun, and so if you would like to participate, there's a web page with more information. I can drop it into the link. The time is 1 to 3, again, next Wednesday.
Thanks, Karen. Circling back to the motion, is there a staff center that would like to make the motion to adjourn?
I motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
I second.
All right, is there any debate or discussion? Debate or discussion? Debate or discussion? All those in favor, please state aye in the Zoom chat. All opposed? Any abstentions?
Good. We will call this meeting to adjourn at 11:05 a.m. I hope everyone has a wonderful day.
Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, everyone. Y'all have a great day.